The Houston Rockets. I like the Houston Rockets. I like what they have over there in Houston, man. With Jalen Green, the second pick, they got Kevin Porter Jr., another young player who has potential. They also got Christian Wood still, who's not as young as the others, but still pretty good. Jalen Tate, Kenyon Martin Jr. They got a whole core. They got a whole nice young core over there, and although they're not very good right now, they do have potential to be very good in the future. John Wall still is a question mark when it comes to this team. He's getting older and he's not as good as he used to be, and he still has that ridiculous contract, which is a guarantee, almost pretty much guaranteed 80. I think I'd say 90 million combined with both contracts or both years. 90 million over the next 2 years for a guy who's getting older and not really contributing much to your team. I think they'd rather have Kevin Porter Jr. run the point guard right now and get rid of John Wall. Buying him out would cost a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of money. But it would be good for John Wall because then he could move on to a new team, and now he wouldn't have the worst contract in the league. Because John Wall's still a good player. It's just his contract makes him seem like a bad player. It's like his contract makes him look worse. That's the best way I could describe it. But if they get John Wall out of there, then I think honestly it can end up being good, because I think the best option would be to buy him out, even though it would take a lot of money. It's better than trading him, because if you trade him, you're pretty much you're forced to trade him for another big contract. So it's a lose-lose situation. John Wall would fit in with a lot of teams, like a team like the Clippers or the Pelicans that could use a good playmaker right now. But I think for that to happen, because there's no way that you're trading. It'd be pretty hard to trade a big contract to the Rockets for John Wall. So I think the best option would be to buy him out, and then he goes signs with another team, maybe even contending team, considering his career is slowly coming to an end. Well, not exactly, but you know what I mean. It'd be better for him to go to a contending team so that he actually gets a chance to compete and play well. Because in the future, I don't want him to be like one of those guys who people know was good but wasn't good enough to be on a good team. I don't want it to be like a Chris Webber. Okay? Actually, Chris Webber's on a good team. I don't want his career to be wasted. Okay. That's the best way I could describe it. Moving on, Jalen Green. I think Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. as a backcourt, that will be ridiculous. I think for the next few years, that's what they got to run with. And then Jalen Tate as a small forward, that's really good too. He had a great season last year. Hopefully he continue that this year. Then they also signed Daniel Tice in the offseason. He's going to probably run the power forward over Kenyon Martin Jr., but eventually Kenyon Martin Jr. is going to take that spot. And when you also look at the draft, they also got Alperen Sengun and Sengun Shigun, I don't know how to say his name, and Josh Christopher. Two great picks. Josh Christopher can be your backup shooting guard. Alperen can be your backup center. So I like what they did this year. And then of course you can't forget the best player on this team right now, Christian Wood. He's gonna be kind of like he's gonna have that Jeremy Grant role, where he's gonna be the player who everybody knows is the best player on the team. He plays like the best player on the team, and you know, it's kind of hard to describe it. It's just he's gonna have that role where he's a decent player playing on a bad team. And it's weird how both Christian Wood and Jeremy Grant played for the Pistons. That's really weird. But anyways, yeah, Christian Wood is gonna be there. I suspect them to have a starting lineup of Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Jay Tate, Daniel Tice, and Christian Wood. And that, it doesn't sound terrible, but then again, I have them as the worst team in the West, going 18-64, and that's a terrible record. So considering that, I guess you could say the Rockets, they're not going to be a good team. But I don't think that they're going to be necessarily terrible. It's just because the West is really good right now. And I don't really see any team that they can consistently beat in the West other than the Thunder. And the only team I'd really take them over is maybe the Thunder. But that's it. Like, I see the Thunder as the worst team in the West this year. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna see a development year for all the young guys on this team, just like what I said for the Pistons. And yeah, by the way, if you haven't seen it already, check out the other video I made about the Pistons as their season preview. I'm gonna try and do this 30 teams in 15 days. It will take a lot of work, but I think I could do it if I just put in the time, put in the work, and yeah, you know. So this is gonna be an interesting road. Hopefully we'll make it. Hopefully we'll get all the season previews out in time. But as of now, I guess that's it. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, share, comment down below any tips, tricks, or topics you want me to talk about. And yeah, that'll be it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.